This is outdated. This is outdated too. And this here. Don't even think about having this in your kitchen cabinets. It's one of the biggest complaints I get from people who put this in their kitchen. I could even use it in a new project, but not in this size or this style. I'd go with a cleaner design. Hey guys, how are you? All good? I'm Ed Parquiteto, and this video here is part 2 of the one I published earlier, where I showed you guys. If I were to design a kitchen, a new project for you, if you hired me to design your kitchen, there are items here that I wouldn't use in a new project, and there are other things that I would keep in this kitchen's design. And that's what I'm going to tell you about right now. There were a few things missing from the previous video, so I'll cover them in this one, and I wanted to know your opinion. What would you change in this kitchen, or what would you keep in this kitchen's decor? Here? For a kitchen remodel and a new look next year? The first thing you need to understand and know is what can't happen during your kitchen renovation, okay? You have a living room, so here's the living room, here's the kitchen, and we have a division between the spaces, even if your living room is integrated with your kitchen. We have flooring here, we have vinyl here, and we have porcelain tiles on this side, okay? So here we have 2 types of flooring. Why would you put that huge threshold there? Here, look at the division between this flooring and the porcelain tile. That doesn't make sense. Don't put that huge threshold here, you know, that 10, 12, or 14 centimeter wide threshold to separate one floor from the other, okay? At most, you should use a thin aluminum profile, which is about as wide as a grout line, like at most 5 millimeters. To make this transition, but never use a threshold between your living room floor and your kitchen floor. Maybe I would just change this floor here. Since it's polished, I would use a satin one. Another thing is that you can't make a mistake when choosing. So, when you're renovating your kitchen, pay attention, show it up close. Look here, see, there's no step between this vinyl flooring and this porcelain tile. There's no step here, see? We know that the thickness of the porcelain tile is a little bit greater, right? It's 15 millimeters. So depending on the situation, it can even reach up to 20 millimeters. And the vinyl is a very thin material, 2 or 3 millimeters. So what do? How is someone going to handle this height difference, right? This step between the floor of your kitchen and the floor of your living room? You're going to have to call the installation team, the contractor, the mason, whoever is going to do it for you, and say, look, build up the floor here in my living room because I'm going to have vinyl, and in my kitchen I'm going to have porcelain tile. I don't want a step, and this can never happen. There can't be steps or a step between the floor of your living room and the floor of your kitchen. Another thing I really like to do in my projects is to use just one type of flooring, okay? Here I actually agree because we have vinyl flooring in the living room and we have porcelain tiles in the kitchen. Maybe I would keep porcelain tiles everywhere, okay? Or maybe I would keep the vinyl there too, depending on the situation, on the client's choice. I would keep it this way or just keep one type of flooring. Look, here's another decorative item that I'm also not really in favor of using in your kitchen anymore. And actually there are 2 items together here, okay? The higher counter here in your kitchen, we have the cooktop countertop, and we have a higher counter here, and I already want to talk about it. What's the other item that's combined here? See? Pendant lights here in the kitchen. This style is light and subtle, a very clean and simple design here, matching the brushed aluminum of the range hood and everything else. But I wouldn't use this high counter here, okay? Tell me, what's the point of using a high counter in your kitchen with no purpose at all? Then you'll put your bar stools here, you know, for a quick snack or a quick lunch, that's fine. If you're used to having quick snacks here at your counter, okay, I agree and approve, and I would also include it in the project. But if you did this just because you saw it at someone else's house and thought it looked nice, what's the point of using a high counter? Why not? Why not make it at the same level as your cooktop counter, which is 90 centimeters high? Here, it's at 1.10 or 1.15 meters. Why not keep it at this height here? There's another situation where I agree with you. If you tell me you want to keep the high counter, which is this right here, there's the dining table right next to it, see? The dining table is right here, the cooktop is right here, so they're right next to each other. This counter theoretically is providing a protective barrier for anything that's being cooked here. preparing food for the dining table. So in this situation too, I agree with you. So the purpose of this higher counter here makes sense. Now, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't, in my opinion, in a new project, if you hired me to design your kitchen, then I wouldn't do it. I would really push you not to add this new counter here, as I don't think it will be functional. I think you'll end up not using it in your daily routine for a quick snack exactly because your table is right here, see? Look at this. Your dining table is right here, okay? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, it's right here next to you. So what's the point? Investing more, spending more, adding extra details here to the counter by your cooktop when it's not going to serve any purpose. Guys, here's the thing, okay? I want to hear your opinion. Go ahead and leave a comment for me here, all right? Leave your comment down below if you agree with me or not about what I'm saying here, all right? I'm showing you some situations here and I want to hear your opinion. Do you agree with me? Would you keep this in your new kitchen design or not? If you've already done your kitchen and it's nice, it's cool, there's no problem at all. If you were to renovate or start a new project, would you change it? Comment and share your opinion on what I'm showing you. I'll also take this opportunity to ask you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed yet, okay? I always make videos with tips, comments, suggestions so you don't make mistakes when decorating your house. And this is another video with that goal, okay? So, subscribe, like, hit the like button on this video and don't forget to comment about these suggestions I'm sharing with you here. Now I want to talk to you about this here. Look, these tiles, this decorative strip right here in the middle of the wall, let's put it that way. This seems to me, it's almost like they ran out of porcelain tiles, so they decided to put this tile strip, this band here in the middle, to make up for the lack of porcelain tiles. This here, look, isn't really common in decoration nowadays, and I'll explain to you why, okay? First, I'm not even going to talk specifically about the mosaic tile, which I'll mention in a bit, but I'm going to talk about the decorative band. What's the purpose of having this here on your wall? None, no purpose at all. By having a decorative band, you broke up the design of the porcelain tile, and this porcelain tile is plain, it has a smooth finish, it doesn't have any design at all. Now imagine if you have calacara, some porcelain tile here, with some beautiful veins, and you go there and split it into a section above and a section below. What's the point of this? None. So this here, look, you have to agree with me, this is out of style. Don't do this decoration in your kitchen, your bathroom, your utility room, or your laundry room. Putting a decorative strip to divide your wall covering into a lower and an upper section. Now, since I mentioned the decorative strip, look at the amount of repetitive patterns we have here in this tile, on the wall, here in the kitchen. So, it's not just a strip, the decorative strip itself isn't very common anymore, and it's also out of style. Let's put it this way, guys, let's be realistic, let's speak plainly, this here isn't very common nowadays. In new architecture, decoration, and interior design projects, if the architect or designer tells you to use this here, in my opinion, he's doing something totally wrong. Alright? Only if you really like it. You're the client, you hired me. Only if you really like it and say, no, I want it, and that's it, period. Okay? Then we'll keep the tile. But what's the idea? The idea is for you to use, for example, a smoother porcelain tile with softer patterns, okay? This here, look, repeats a lot. This gets tiring for your eyes, not to mention, because pay attention to what I'm going to tell you now. All of this here is grout, see? These little squares you're seeing here, all of this is grout, okay? On this whole wall, imagine yourself using your sink and countertop here every day. You're getting it dirty, grime and grease are building up there, all kinds of stuff, and it just keeps getting dirtier. If you had a large piece like 60 by 1.20, for example, it would cover up to here. Or maybe you could arrange it to have one in the middle here. Just leave the grout in spots and that's it for grout in your kitchen, right? In other situations, there's even the backsplash that goes all the way up here, see, without needing any tile behind it. But the idea is not to use mosaic tiles on the wall by your sink. That's what I'm talking about, the sink. And there are people who still put this decoration here, this tile on the wall behind the cooktop, where you'll be cooking, preparing food and all that, with grease, steam, and everything else getting on that wall. Imagine the dirt that will build up over time. So this here is also out of style now. I'm sure that 99% of you watching this video will agree with me this here. Never put this in your kitchen cabinetry project in your kitchen, because I say never, and like I said, 99% will agree with me. Because putting a mirror, I'm not even going to talk about the color of the mirror, putting mirrors on these upper cabinet doors. This here, it's not that it's out of style, I can't even classify it as out of style, okay? But this here isn't functional. Yeah, like what's not functional? It's this right here. Look, any food you prepare on your stove, if it's close to this here, and there are designs where the cooktop is right under here, okay? In this kitchen, the cooktop is on the other side. And even so, as soon as you finish cooking anything, frying some meat, anything here, this here, even if it's clean, right after you cook the food, this gets completely coated with residue. So I get a lot of comments from you guys here saying that you would never use it. Did you regret putting mirrors on the doors here in your kitchen, want to change them and all that? So here's a tip I give you if you're going to renovate your kitchen. Are you going to build a new one? Don't use mirrors on your kitchen doors because it gives the impression that you cleaned today. After a few days using your stove, you'll see everything is already covered. It looks careless, like you didn't clean it, but that's not the case. It's just that it gets dirty very easily. Dirt sticks really easily. Unlike here, look, the woodwork itself, the wood on the door, you can't see that easily. And obviously it also looks nice, but I haven't said this to you yet. I want to hear your opinion, and I'm giving you my opinion here, my perspective as a decorator. If you're saying, but I disagree with you. I have it here in my kitchen, it doesn't interfere with anything, I clean it regularly, and it doesn't bother me at all. It looks good here, it looks nice. That's why I want to hear your opinion. Would you keep mirrors on your kitchen cabinet doors or not? Comment below. Look at this other situation here. I get comments saying that people regretted putting it in their kitchen. It's this one here. Look, a full-length handle, all aluminum, on the door, from end to end on the door. Sometimes a simple little handle is something lighter, more clean. Just here in the middle, look, it would look nice sometimes, a handle at a 45-degree angle. Here on the wood itself, on the door itself, it would look interesting too. Another one here on the side, built in, made into the door itself, would also look cool. Now this right here, look, is a champion when it comes to complaints, comments that I get from you guys too. Why? It collects a lot of dirt, first of all. It might even be functional, I'll agree, because you put your hand here, pull, it opens and all that. It might be functional, but it's not hygienic. It gathers a lot of dirt. Why? It has a base here, look, that's practically flat. Whenever we talk about a flat base, we're talking about vertical, but this little groove here is a horizontal base. Any broom you use in the kitchen every day with dust and dirt, it will build up right here. So this part collects dirt in your daily routine, so it's dirty. Another suggestion I'm giving you is functional. Yeah, it might even be, but it's not aesthetic, and depending on the situation, I've seen some projects out there, oh my God. The color of the wood here is white, the color of the handle all the way across is aluminum, and the color of the wood here is actually a nice shade for wood. And this here black is totally out of place. The color combination here is actually kind of subtle. The wood is a bit medium to dark, and the aluminum here is also medium to dark, so the color actually matches. But the functionality of using this here, look, pay attention. Look how much beauty you lose from your drawer front. Using an aluminum handle like this, if you had a nice custom cabinet door and placed a small handle in the center, wouldn't that be more interesting and attractive? So another situation that a lot of people complain about on a daily basis is using this handle here to put on your kitchen cabinet. Now look at this other situation here too, which has already generated a lot of different opinions here on the channel, which is the commercial style faucet on your sink countertop. Are you one of those people who think this thing is clunky? I got a lot of comments like that, like for me this thing is just bulky, it's too big, it doesn't work, and so on. And I also got a lot of comments from you guys saying, no, I have it here, it works, it's cool for me, it looks nice, it's good. As for me, if you ask my opinion, I don't like to use this type of faucet in a new project. Look, it's so large, it practically fills the space from the upper cabinet down to the sink. That's the first reason it's too big. Second, there are some materials used in commercial style faucets that rust easily. This arch here, these rings, these joints here, so that's another reason too, if you don't buy a quality one. The third reason is that it gets, especially here. Look, show it up close, right here. When it's fixed directly to the sink, it gets loose. See? Do you see this here? It feels like it's gonna come off, like it's loose, see? When it's fixed directly to the sink, when it's on the countertop, it's firm. But when it's on the sink like this, suddenly it gets loose. You'll need to make an adjustment. You have to talk to the people at the marble shop and make an adaptation here under the sink so that it stays firm. So that's another reason why I wouldn't choose a commercial style faucet for your kitchen sink. It can be functional. It can, and it is functional, but aesthetically for your kitchen, it doesn't look very good. And I've already shown you here on the channel other faucet models that I like to use in my projects, including all the items in this kitchen here that we're talking about whether we would change or keep. The items from this kitchen that I use in my projects are down here in the description, for example. Edipo, what faucet model do you recommend for the kitchen? There's a purchase link down here, okay? Yeah, Edipo. Tell me the sink model. This one is an overmount. Tell me, which model do you like to use? The undermount one? It's down here in the description. Yeah, Edipo, tell me which cooktop model you'd install. It's all down here in the description of this video. All the items you saw with me in the previous video and are seeing here now that I either wouldn't use or would keep in this kitchen are down here in the description. So, this is also a situation where I wouldn't use it in a new project, okay? But I want to hear your opinion. Do you have this type of faucet in your kitchen? Does it work for you? Is it good or you don't have it? No? Would you never use this faucet model, or do you have it and want to change? Are you tired of it? Bored with it in your kitchen decor? Alright then guys. So here was another video, part 2 of this kitchen, showing some items that sometimes went unnoticed in the previous video we made about this kitchen. What would I keep in this kitchen and what would I change in the decor of this kitchen here? I want to hear your opinion, okay? I want to hear your opinion. What would you keep in this kitchen that I showed you here? Now? If you haven't seen the first video, go to the channel and check it out. It's really cool too. And what would you change? What would you keep? It's not like keep this because I want it, I like it, I have it at home. I don't mean that doesn't work, okay? I want to hear your opinion down here in the comments. Very cool. And to finish this video on a high note, which was also missing in the other video, let me show you up here. We have cool white lighting and there's even a little spotlight that's burned out here. Look. We have cool white recessed lighting, okay? We have 2 recessed ceiling lights here, 20 by 20, 24 watts. And we have some little spotlights here showing this cool white lighting. Always use cool white or neutral white lighting in the kitchen, never warm white. That's my opinion, okay? But I'd like to hear yours too. If you wanted to use an LED channel instead of spotlights, that could look nice too. But for the kitchen, you need to have a main light source, which in this case are these 2 ceiling lights here, and a secondary lighting, which can be the spotlights. Or it could be an LED strip, also in an L shape. Here too, which would give you good lighting, and also here, look down here, if you wanted to put LED down here too, look, it would work really well to light up this countertop by the sink and to finish off here as well. What's the name of this countertop that you guys were supposed to tell me in the last video here? So, what's the name of this countertop? Some people said beige, didn't they? Verde Ubatuba, I remembered Verde Ubatuba, but that's not this one. I'll let you know, I'll tell you now. This one here, look, is Imperial Brown Granite, okay? The model of this stone here, look, Imperial Brown Granite. There were a lot of comments saying Verde Ubatuba. Because sometimes it was because of the shade here, the lighting, and also the video, but this one is Imperial Brown. So, did you like it? Did you enjoy this video here? Do you want to see more videos like this here? Us analyzing real everyday spaces to decorate our homes and help you avoid mistakes? Leave a comment. So, do me a favor, subscribe, leave a like, and leave a comment. What did you think of this review? Here in this kitchen, hugs, and see you in the next video.